Welcome back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss the relationship between Capricorn and Sagittarius. So this is a bit of a mix when it comes to a relationship because you get one of the most serious zodiac signs, which is Capricorn, represented by Saturn, with a very light-hearted person, which is Sagittarius. Their planetary influences are not exactly ideal with Jupiter and Saturn. They do have a bit of a rivalry. One planet of Saturn stands for restriction. The next one is all about expansion and growth and creativity. So this is a bit of a polar opposite when it comes to a relationship dynamic. In an intimate relation between these two, it goes for about 65%. Reason being is Sagittarius brings to the Capricorn what they lack, which is a sense of optimism. They're very expansive, they can be visionaries, and they're quite intellectual. Capricorn can definitely appreciate their intellectualism. They can look at their optimism and maybe crack a smile here and there, but the problem is that they'll look at Sagittarius sort of like a naive child that still believes in Santa Claus. They're going to look at them in a sense of, you're happy, but you really shouldn't be because of XYZ, and we haven't achieved our dreams, and blah, 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 blah. It'll keep going. Capricorn is very much about reality, what's here, what's now, and about probable facts. So they want to know about what they can do in a pragmatic way to get ahead in life. They're builders, whereas the Sagittarius is, like what I said before, an architect, a visionary, somebody who can see into the future and be happy about it before it even shows up. They make an ideal mix in a relationship, in my opinion, because of that very thing. Because Capricorn does need somebody that's more optimistic around them in order to stop and smell the roses in between their achievements. And Sagittarius sometimes needs grounding in order to actually see reality for what it is and not really run away from their problems. Capricorn's fixed energy can definitely help them in that way. Even though Capricorn is not a fixed sign, a lot of astrologists will even argue that they still act like that because of Saturn's influence. They are a cardinal sign, but they can definitely get Sagittarius on the way to success in comparison to other signs that might just go into their optimism and their happy dreams and so forth. Capricorn will kind of check them a little bit and make sure that they stay focused and don't get too happy but don't get too sad either. They'll keep them in that sort of neutral state. When it comes to trust between these two, that's where things start falling off a bit as well. Sagittarius is definitely a very good person. They're very ideal partners when it comes to just relationships in general. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tie them down. However, when they do choose somebody, they'll definitely be loyal to them. Capricorn is definitely the same way. The only thing is, Capricorn has a way of being a bit harsh, and sometimes they have an intimidating nature about them. And Sagittarius might fall for that and be a bit indirect with them in their communication. And Capricorn can never appreciate somebody that's indirect in any sort of communication. They need direct, straightforward answers, and this can lead to a lack of trust where the Capricorn just doesn't take the Sagittarius person seriously, whether that be their opinions or what they're telling them story-wise. And that can lead to some problems because once Sagittarius feels like, well, this person thinks I'm a liar, they're going to probably end up lying if they weren't already, and the Capricorn person's going to fail to have a good partner because Sagittarius is just going to look at them in a different light, and that will lead to the detriment of the relationship after a while. Going back to what I was talking about at the beginning, the planetary influences of Jupiter is, like I said, expansive, it's about growth, it's good luck. Saturn gives wisdom through hardship and having mental fortitude and discipline and being competent in your life. So these guys have a very different experience in their life. What they're supposed to go through in this reincarnation is a bit different. And as such, their mixture can just lead to just different polarities clashing. It could be a good thing, like I said. They could really complement each other, but it would more so be in a business sort of fashion, which is what I'm about to discuss next. In a business way, they are about, I would say, 75% compatible because Sagittarius will definitely be an intellectual person who can come up with great ideas, and Capricorn is the builder that can make sure they see that idea through and thoroughly, make sure they don't miss any details. So if Sagittarius is in the position of the business of being the person that might be the entrepreneur, the person with the idea, and Capricorn's the person that's supposed to be that bridge to the physical realm to bring it forth, to manifest it, it can work. But Sagittarius needs to understand that Capricorn might need to take the wheel when it comes to how the business is being operated and dealing with the day-to-day litigation, the administration of the business. If they can let them have that aspect of control, it's definitely going to work out. But if they don't have that aspect of control, and Sagittarius is supposed to be the person that's looking into the details and so forth, it could be good if they're serious, but for the most part, this is where things will kind of fall apart, just simply because Capricorn won't feel that Sagittarius is competent enough to deal with the day-to-day affairs of the business, and they might feel that they're missing over things that they wouldn't. So the competence level here is a little bit different. Sagittarius has a lot of competence when it comes to the creative aspects of business, when it comes to figuring out new ideas or unorthodox days to actually get things done. But the Capricorn is going to have a bit of a different angle where they make sure that things stay grounded. They make sure that things are actually being seen through. And most of all, they don't give up on the business when they face hardship. Capricorn is used to having a hard life, used to having to be the adult from when they're a child. So they're very much able to keep Sagittarius on task with what they'll view as taking care of a child in Sagittarius. So it definitely works out in that sort of aspect. Like I said, 75% of the time it could work as long as those roles are the way they're supposed to be. If anything's reversed or the Sagittarius just gets too much power in this sort of relation, then that's where things might get a little bit of friction, for the lack of a better word, just because they won't be able to really see eye to eye, and there'll just be different discrepancies with how business is being handled. Last but not least, we have the friendship between these two. They're not really likely to be friends, believe it or not, just because of their natural aura as sun signs. They don't really find each other in the same social realms. They have different interests, they have different belief systems for the most part. So I would say about 40% of the time they're going to be friends. It's either going to be a business setting that they're going to be involved with each other in, or it's going to be a direct, intimate relation. But friendship-wise, these are the type of people that'll meet each other in class or at work and say, yeah, I like this person, let's be best friends. It's very rare that would happen. Sagittarius is a bit of like not a clown, but a bit of the person that inspires other people, talks, and a bit of the person that's always on stage in some sort of way. They're presenting their ideas to the world. They're the musically inclined person, the artistically inclined. Whereas Capricorn's all about just keeping their head down. They don't really care to be noticed. They just want to have the status of being in charge. And aside from that, they just want to make sure that they're remembered for their competence. Because remember, Sagittarius governs the 9th house, which is all about our belief systems in traveling, all of those different sort of aspects when it comes to just understanding the world and getting a better perspective. That's why these guys gather so much information and knowledge. Whereas Capricorn governs the 10th. It's all about career, status, power, the midheaven. So when you get these guys together, you get people that have two different missions, essentially. Even if your sun is, of course, in a different house within your astrological chart, we still need to understand the basis of it, that Sagittarius governs that 9th house. That's what their main topic in life is about finding out what to actually believe in. Are they going to be a spiritual person? Are they going to be a person that's going to believe in an ideology of some sort? Or are they going to be an atheist? It all depends, and that's going to affect a lot in the ways that they do things, whether it comes to their career, their friendships, whole 9 yards is going to affect. Whereas Capricorn's going to be less concerned with their belief systems and more in connection with what they want in regards to a career, status, money. That's what they more so are going to care about. So these guys will not really be together in regards to a relation, and if they are, it's going to have to be of some sort of use to Capricorn, where it's going to be a pragmatic friendship of some sort, where either they go to them for different ideas, brainstorming, whatever it be. And on the other hand, Sagittarius might find the Capricorn person just as a nihilistic, lethargic person. So the effects of these guys being together is not that it's not that beneficial for either party unless there's some sort of direct use that they're going to have. For the Sagittarius person, that might just be having that responsible friend that they can talk to and get advice from. But aside from that, guys, that should conclude this video. If you guys have any questions or disagree with anything I'm saying, please just let me know in the comments. Aside from that, like, subscribe, follow me. For today, guys. Peace.